Welcome, everyone. This is, I believe, session 5 of our Membership Updates Live. Tonight's topic is Forging a Functional Facebook Strategy. And as always, we have myself, Field Director for Atlantic Area Council, George Snipes, and our Council New Member Coordinator, Bert Bender. Special guests tonight are Laura Lerman. She's the Membership Chair for the Northern Ridge District. We'll get her on here in just a few minutes. And we also have Courtney Bernard, our Marketing and Communications Executive for the Atlanta Area Council. Glad to have everyone in this evening. Wanted to give a few reminders before we get started. Please feel free to use the Q&A section to ask questions about the topics that we're covering, as well as stuff about membership in general. We definitely want these to be helpful for you. If it's something that this topic is something you need tonight, great. But if it's something else about membership you want to know or discuss as a group, please put those questions in the Q&A box, and we'll add those in live where they make sense. We might answer some of the text, but please use that feature whether on topic or not. Also, the question we get asked most is, will this be posted and available to use later? Absolutely. Courtney, who's on the call tonight, is very helpful with that, getting them posted onto the Atlanta Area Council YouTube channel. Very good subscribe, by the way, for not only good content like Membership Updates Live, but all other happenings around the Atlanta Area Council. So definitely encourage you to subscribe to the Atlanta Area Council channel. Oh, great timing. We just wrapped up our opening, Laura. Fantastic. And how are you doing this afternoon, Laura?
Good, hold on. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Sorry, I'm at lacrosse practice and I'm trying to do this from my phone, from my car.
Not a problem at all. We just wrapped up our opening, gave out some reminders, introduced you as the Northern Ridge Membership Chair. And before we get into our topic, feel free to introduce yourself a little bit and tell us a little bit about what you do for Northern Ridge.
All right, so I am Laura Lerman. I am the Northern Ridge District Membership Chair. I am also the Scoutmaster for Troop 1857. I have been in scouting with my son since he was a Tiger. He's now in 7th grade. And I am going on halfway through our 2nd year with my girls troop. We have a brother troop that kind of parallels us, and that's what I do is scouting, and I absolutely love it. I'm looking forward to getting back in the woods camping. 2 weeks or 2 weekends, I think, is going to be our first camp out. So we're excited. We're having our new scout camp out. And that's a little bit about me. I've put together a pretty robust online marketing platform for membership this year. And so that's kind of what I'm going to do is share the information that I have with you guys. And I will pre-apologize if my child gets in the car right about 6 o'clock with her lacrosse gear. It might get noisy, but I will try to keep her a bit quiet. Am I able to share my screen? I put together just a quick little slideshow just to kind of go over so people could maybe snap pictures or take notes if they want to. Oh, good. All right, so basically what we're going to talk about tonight is how to use Facebook while marketing for your unit. And I know Courtney is going to take over and talk a little bit about geofencing and probably some of the different ads that you can use on Facebook. What I'm going to go over really are just some techniques that will help boost the Facebook algorithm method. So most people don't realize is if you don't break that Facebook algorithm, your friends, you're only gonna have 7% of the people who are friends with you see your posts. So things that you can do by, to break that, the max number of people that can see your post is gonna be 40%. And so we're just gonna kind of talk about some of the things that you can do as a unit to kind of post things on Facebook that are going to help you get more people to see your posts. All right, so the first one is branding. It is super, super, super important for people to be able to depend on what you're posting. And by depend on, I just mean your posts need to be consistent. And so when you're marketing something, you want to make sure that you've got a hashtag. I've got the 2 that I use. Troop 1857, that's a great hashtag to use as your unit, your unit name, PAC 699, Troop 1857. The second one that you see here that says Lurski Life, that's my family hashtag. And when I make a post on Facebook, if it's missing, because I've been using that hashtag for so many years, people actually call me out. Where's your Lurski Life, Laura? What are you doing with that? And so as you're branding, that's something that you definitely want to pick. Like if you look at millennials and Generation Z, when they have kids, their kids are born and they pick a hashtag. And every time they make a post about their kid, you know, I've got a friend, she's got a little boy who's in about 2nd grade, and his hashtag is Oh Richard, because, well, that's about says it all. He is all over the place, and it's just a great hashtag for him. And so when people see that post, they know exactly who they're talking about. If your troop or your unit has a logo, you want to put it on your pictures, because again, it's repetition, right? It's showing up the same way every single time that you show up. And then you want to make your posts dependable. And by dependable, I'm talking about the same kind of posts. So if you're looking at this from a business marketing standpoint, one of the things that I'm a realtor, and so one of the things that I post every single Thursday is caption this photo. And so I'll go through and find crazy FMLS photos. Last week we had a kitchen and it was like all pink. I mean, it looked like Barbie had vomited in this kitchen. It was crazy. And the weeks that I missed those posts, people email me or text me or Facebook me, Laura, what's going on right now? And so if you'll find things that can be consistent, like if you go camping once a quarter and you post that, people are going to start asking you about that. And they're going to start depending on those posts to be there when they expect them to be there. And so by branding yourself and becoming dependable in your posting, people will start to look for you and look for your unit. Now, as far as posting effectively, white space is super, super, super important. And I'm going to show you guys a post here in just a second and kind of go through all of this. So when you're writing a post, think about when you're reading something. If somebody posts a 4 or 5 paragraph long post, you're more apt to read it if there's actual white space in between each of the paragraphs, right? So that it kind of breaks your eyes up a little bit and breaks that passage up. If it's one long, big run-on post, one long run-on paragraph, people a lot of times will read about the first 2 lines and they quit, because that's the attention span of today's human being, really. You also want to keep it short. I always like to keep my posts to probably, I don't know, about 4 or 5 lines. Again, because you have about a 3-second window to capture somebody's attention. Now, number 4, tag other people and other pages. This is super, super, super important. When you tag another person, it's going to show up not only on your page, that post is also going to show up on that person's page. So your friends get to see it as well as their friends get to see it. So we've been sending out as a district every week, we've been sending out 3 posts that we're asking parents to post on their Facebook page. It's got the links attached to it. The first post, a lot of times we'll put the emojis in so that they can kind of see how to set that up. We want them to do it a little bit on their own. And this emoji PD, I don't think I talked about that. That's a great resource. So when you're online and you're on your computer, if you'll go to this emojipedia.org website, that actually is every emoji that you can imagine. You just copy the emoji and paste it. So then you don't have to go into your keyboard, try to find the emojis. Don't ask me how to do that. I can only do it on my phone. This has been the best. I know it's crazy, but I really don't know how to find the emojis. It's kind of a pain when you're trying to put them in the posts. So this website, you just go in and type in happy, and it's going to bring up every single happy emoji that goes with whatever word you're using. When you tag other pages, so like I am a member of a couple different mom groups. When I'm posting the post that we as Northern Ridge are asking our parents to post each week, I'm tagging my kid's elementary school where he used to do Cub Scouting. I'm also tagging the PTA. When you tag those posts again show up on your page, but then they also are going to show up on the pages that you are tagging. Add a video, a picture, or a link. Now, if you add a link, that's going to show up at the bottom of your post. So you don't really have the option of a picture or a video. A video will 100% of the time stop somebody from scrolling. Again, they're probably only going to watch the first couple seconds to see if they want to continue to watch, but it is going to stop them from scrolling. When people stop on your posts, that's a way to break that algorithm, right? So every time somebody stops, that means more of a higher percentage of your picture or of your people are actually going to see that. And a video is your best way to do that. You want to make sure that you're posting public or private, and we'll kind of talk about this when I flip over to the actual post. And then you want to post on, I guess I put that twice, post on pages that you follow. So here is a post that we did last week, no, I guess the first week for our district. You can see that we went ahead and we put the emojis, they're in here. I've added hashtags to the post itself. The reason you want to use hashtags is if somebody's looking for scouting in the area, they may do a search for hashtag scouting. Anything with hashtag scouting in it is going to pull up in a Google search, it's going to pull up in a Facebook search, and that's how people are searching nowadays, is more with hashtags. And there's actually a couple hashtag apps that you can use that'll tell you which hashtags are trending for, you know, different activities. But you see how there's white space in here. So, you know, hashtag scouting provides a hashtag safe and hashtag friendly environment for your kids to get out from behind their screens. And then there's white space that stops somebody's eyes. You can see at the bottom, we've got more hashtags, and then you can see where I have actually tagged the elementary school and the PTA. This particular post had a link in it. And so at that point, you can see that I don't have room for a picture or a video, but it does give them a place to actually go. And for these posts, we're trying to get people to click, right? We're trying to collect their data. Now, when we talk about a public or a private post, this is a public post. The way you determine if it is a public post or a private post is whether there's people here or a world here. A world means it's public, and that means anybody in Facebook land can see this post. So if you're posting something that is a district event or a council event or something that doesn't have kids in your unit per se, you're probably okay to go ahead and post it publicly. And that's something that you're going to want to do. When a post is public, it is shareable. So if your friend likes that post and thinks that's a great event or thinks this is something that people on her Facebook page or his Facebook page might enjoy, they're able to share it. If it is a private post, which would be posts that you might use if you were, you know, promoting a camp out for your pack or something, and you didn't want the whole world to see kids in your unit, because obviously we need to make sure that we're following the Safe Scout guidelines on how we post children and whether we're posting their face and stuff like that. So you want to make sure that those type posts are going to be private. That does not allow sharing by people who are on your Facebook page. So that kind of goes over a post. And then the kind of last big tip that I really have, just because I wanted to keep this somewhat short because I know Courtney needs a little bit of time, is the 5 by 5 by 5. What this means, and this is one of the easiest ways to break Facebook's algorithm, is before you make a post, I do recommend having the post ready, especially if it's a marketing type post, so that you can stay within the 5 minutes. But what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go through and find 5 different posts of friends that you can comment on with 5 words. So, hey, George, I saw, you know, looks like you had a great Labor Day weekend. You and the kids look like you had a great time at the lake. Love that. Maybe put an emoji in there. Hey, Bert, saw that you and your troop are camping. That's awesome. Where did you guys, where did you guys go? Courtney, hey, I saw that this happened this weekend. So by posting on 5 different Facebook pages, this right here will break the algorithm probably faster than anything else as far as getting you from that 7% of viewing of post up to the 40% of your friends. And then if your post is ready, what I normally do is I'll just throw the post up in like Word or something, go do my 5 little posts on other people's pages, and then I copy and paste and throw my posts up on the internet. Now, something else that you want to think about when you are posting, if someone responds to your post, it is imperative that you respond back. Don't just like if they post, oh, that looks like a great event. Don't just like that. Respond back again with your 5 words. You want to respond back, hey, it was a great event, or hey, it's going to be a great event. Can I give you some more information? Or whatever that looks like for you, but make sure that you respond to the comments on those posts. Don't just like it. And those are probably the quickest, fastest, easiest ways to break that algorithm. Now, again, Courtney is going to kind of talk about this, but if you're looking for online paid advertising through Facebooking, you can do the geofencing. There's video ads. I'm so sorry. There is video ads, there's photo ads, there's slideshow, carousel, canvas, dynamic products. There's newsfeed ads, and all these different ads can be sorted out by location, by keywords. Some of them are banners, and then some of them will actually go into your news feed. And that is really all that I have for my somewhat short window. Am I taking questions or am I done now?
We haven't had any questions pop up in the chat, but feel free to. I would just ask if a Packer Troop's just going to do one thing. I mean, you shared a lot of good stuff, and I think that's what it takes to break the algorithm. What's the most important thing they should do with Facebook?
Probably this right here, the 5 by 5 by 5. Make sure that you are interacting with 5 posts, commenting with 5 words or more in 5 minutes before you make your post, and then turning around and not liking comments that come on those posts, but liking comment or by actually commenting on that comment, and not just on that post. If you're really focusing on Facebook marketing, you want to make sure you're commenting on everybody's post. I mean, I can take you real quick probably to my Facebook page and just kind of show you what that looks like. Hold on a second, let me pull up my Facebook page. All right, so as you see, when you scroll down, well, not let me scroll if I share my Facebook page with you guys. Oh, there we go. So you can see that when I have a comment on my page, I'm gonna just get to one so here's one. This is my kid playing yesterday at lacrosse. He was the MVP for the game. We posted 2 videos. I know, it was super fun. He's loving lacrosse this season. Him and 2 other kids are like they are the champions, and the 2 kids were not there yesterday. So he kind of carried the team, and it was really a great day. Very short videos. They're not long videos, just something that's going to catch somebody's attention. No one's going to watch for a super long amount of time. But if you look back through my comments, I have 25 comments on this page. I have 39 people that liked this post. Most of the comments are me replying. I don't know why this is not, my touch screen's working, but for some reason so you can see my mom, she loved him, I responded back, which as soon as I responded, that then brought that up more relevant. And I guess if I was going to give you tip number 2 is post videos. So videos actually stay live for 24 hours, whereas pictures only stay live and relevant for about 12. But you can kind of see how I've responded to, just about everybody that was on here. And that was I think that was a public post. Yeah, that was a public post. So anybody out in internet land can see it. Whereas this was a little bit more of a private post. Not a little bit more, it was definitely more of a private post. And you can see the difference in 5 comments on a private post to 25 comments on a public post.
Laura, I really appreciate you sharing as we go into, as we are going through this fall recruiting season. We can't really afford not to do anything. I think in the past we focus on 2 or 3 things, sign up nights being one of them, and each pack maybe doing 1 or 2 other things, but we've got to do everything. And social media, I think, on top of it being another thing to do, I think it's a great way to engage some parents who may not want to drive the troop trailer on the weekends. There's parents who are good at this stuff, who like this stuff, who with a little bit of an ask and a direction can do a lot. And so hopefully our packs are engaging our families well and can take some of this lessons. Now, your slides, are they on the Northern Ridge webpage?
No, I can put them there if you'd like them.
We can talk offline, but we definitely want to share some of the information as far as kind of just the basic how-tos, the 5 by 5 method, just really ways we can engage. But bottom line, I think Courtney's going to wrap us with geofencing. But in case you get some excited, sweaty lacrossers in your car, feel free to.
Yeah, I'm going to listen until I get a kid in the car. And we have to drive 2 scouts tonight because, of course, it's a scout meeting night. So.
Hey, it's scout night. I love it. But seriously, Laura, thank you for what you're doing, Northern Ridge, and thank you for coming on tonight and sharing with us.
Absolutely. Happy to do it. And Courtney, if you have anything to add to that, please, by all means, if I missed something, take it away because I love to learn more.
Thanks, Laura.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, I will take that nice little segue there, and I will start. I was taking some notes of things that I wanted to comment on from Laura. What you said was spot on. I know you and I have had conversations offline about Northern Ridge and getting social media up, and awesome. So I think that us two working together on this is great. So one of the questions that George asked was, what could troops and PACs be doing to succeed? And I agree, posting regularly and the interaction. Those are the two key points that I definitely recommend people doing. Get that techie parent who might not want to go camping on the weekends involved and added to social media. Make that Facebook group, create that, making sure that the parents are involved that might not otherwise, who are the outdoorsy, not the outdoorsy type. So I would definitely recommend getting just one parent who's super into social media and getting them involved in this way. And the other point I wanted to make is, so these platforms make money by people staying on their sites longer and showing them ads. So the longer that you can keep people on the social media platforms, the more that they will share your content because you are getting them that ad revenue that they want. So just keep that in the back of the mind whenever you're posting onto platforms, because that is one of the key reasons why they will share content, is just have that interaction to keep people on there to make their money. So another thing Laura mentioned was white space. I completely agree. I love white space, both in the content and the graphics. Sharing a graphic that isn't too busy, that is just a scout's face, that you have their permission for to share, and that their parents are okay with it, of course. But people really connect with faces rather than a generic graphic or something of that sort that is a little less personalized. And so those were all of my points that I had taken away, but the real point that I wanted to make was, or my chunk was about geofencing. And so geofencing is how you put a radius around an area. So if I went to Brookwood Elementary School and I wanted a sign-up night there, I would put a geofence around it, and anybody that either drove through it, lives by it, or is there for a longer period of time will get served my ad. And so it is a more targeted way of getting that information out there. And so this can, the cost can depend. Of course, these platforms are here to make money. We typically do it a $5 a day for a week before the event. And so if you're having a sign-up night at a school, I know that this analogy might not work so great for COVID, but even if you're at a church or you're out in a parking lot somewhere social distancing, you have that one area where you need to be, and you set up an event for that task or for the sign-up night, and then you set it up through Facebook. It's very simple. Facebook wants you to do this, so they've made it very easy. It might look a little complicated at the beginning, but it is very easy once you get the hang of it. And all you really need is a graphic, which we have at the council, and you can get from a DE. They have those on our platform, and so they can send those out. And then you set up in a Facebook event, and it will ask you where you want it to be, how much money you want to spend, and set it and forget it kind of thing. You'll see people come and join in. and it's very easy from there. As a council, we do have targeted ads for certain zip codes, but that is on a larger scale. So know that we are working in tandem, both the unit and council, as well as national, is having certain geofenced areas as well. So.
But anyone can do geofencing, right?
Yep, anybody can do geofencing. It doesn't have to be just for scouting. If you have a party that you want everybody to come to, I don't know why you would, but you can set it up for any kind of event that you want, or if a business needs it for your personal life, you can.
What about virtual events? Could you geofence for a virtual event?
It would be a little. Yeah, you can do that. You would set it up for the area like that people live in that you want to go to, and you can set up the fence around there. And then instead of saying go to the elementary school at 6 o'clock in the cafeteria, you would say go to this Zoom link instead. And I see, Laura, you asked how big or small the area can be. And it can be anywhere from a 1 mile radius to a 50-mile radius. I wouldn't recommend a 50-mile radius. I've found that there's a nice sweet spot between the 5 to 15-mile radius, but it all depends on your area, because there might be a lot of packs that are in a very densely populated area, and you might want to go with the smaller than 5 miles, just because there might be a lot of other schools or packs or anything in the area.
So you can actually circle that down into 1 mile, because I know for the Facebook ads you can't anymore. It's a minimum of a 20-mile radius.
The event ones you can. Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Did not know that. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions?
Don't see anything else popping up from the chat. I think Bert's joined us. Are you here to close us out, or do you have something you want to ask Courtney?
Well, if you'd like, we can close out if there's no questions that pop up while I'm talking. Laura, thank you for taking a break from the lacrosse fields. Congratulations on the success. Thank you for your observations. George, suggestion, if we could get the link that to this video posted on the council recruiting resources page on the how to promote your unit, that actually has a link to what's called their social media on steroids, with a link to a scouting geofencing tip page that came out a year or so ago. And Laura, we can get your PowerPoint up there too, so that we can soon fill up our Facebook feeds with all sorts of white space emojis and comments, 5 words or more, and we will get the story out there. So scout on, everybody.
Awesome. Well, thanks everyone for joining us. I believe our topic for next week is, I don't even have that in front of me. Do you have that with you, Bert? You're muted, buddy.
I think we're going to focus on how to find leaders and tips about how to turn parents into helpers and helpers into leaders, so that we can share the effort of leading these programs from wherever we are, whether it's inside of a car, in the back of a house, or poor George stuck in the office.
Well, I'm sure that every leader on this call has a fully filled PAC committee and DIN leaders, and won't need any help recruiting leaders this fall. But if you want to maybe help your neighbor and learn about some other strategies, feel free to join us. We'll be here next Monday at 5:30 for Membership Updates Live. Thanks for what you're doing for scouting, and look forward to seeing you next week. Good night, everybody.
Bye now.